movimiento kaugnay dun sa impeachment proceedings sa Kamara de Representantes. Abangan din mamaya mga kabombo at mga Kastar Nation, mga update kaugnay ng iba pang mga balita ating tinutugay-gayan, kagaya na lamang dyan sa Department of Justice kaugnay dun sa development ng kampo laban sa pamilya Bilyar. At live nationwide via satellite, dumako na tayo sa mga detalye ng ating mga balita. Nagsimula na ho ngayong araw, 25 ng Marso, ang formal na pagdinig para sa impeachment case laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte dyan sa House Committee on Justice. Sa kabila ito ng hindi pagsipot ng Vice Presidente at ng kanyang kampo, itinuloy naman ng lupon ang presentasyon ng mga ebidensya at testimonya mula sa mga complainant na naghain ng reklamo. Dalawang impeachment complaints kasi mga kabombo ang kinilala ng komite bilang merong sapat na forma at sustansya o yung form and substance na nakabatay sa umano'y paglabag sa konstitusyon at maling paggamit ng kapangyarihan. At nagpadala ng opisyal na tugon ang kampo ni Vice President Sara Duterte nitong nakalipas na pagkakataon sa pamamagitan ng kanyang legal team na humihiling na ibasura na ang mga kaso dahil umano sa kakulangan ng batayan. Pero ayon sa committee chairperson na si Batangas Representative Jerby Luistro, tuloy ang proseso alinsunod na rin sa mandato ng konstitusyon kahit wala ang Vice Presidente o hindi ito personal na haharap. Inaasahan naman na magtatagal ang mga pagdinig habang inilalatag pa ang mga dokumento at testimonya ng mga testigo o saksi ukol sa mga aligasyon at kung makakakita ng sapat na ebidensya ay saka lamang ito uusad. Maaring maisumiti ng komite ang kanilang ulat sa plenaryo ng Kamara para naman sa botohan kung itutuloy pa ang impeachment trial sa panigho ng Senado na siya namang tatayo o aakto bilang impeachment court pagsapit ng pagkakataon na ito ay makakuha ng sapat na bilang ng boto mula dyan sa Kamara de Representantes. Sa puntong ito ng ating balitaan, kunin po natin ang linya rin ng ating mga reporters mula dyan sa Kamara de Representantes kaugnay ng kanilang mga update hinggil naman sa nagpapatuloy pa rin na pagdinig ng House Committee on Justice. At i-check natin maya-maya ang linya ni Bombo Soberano at ng ating pang coverage team. Katuwang ito si Bombo Isa Cotoner maya-maya lamang. Kanina mga kabombo, mga Kastar Nation, nagkaroon na ng inisyal na paghimay kung maglalabas pa ang komite ng kanilang direktiba o kaya ay kautusan para doon sa legal team ni Vice President Sara Duterte, bagay na pinagtalunan sa pagitan ng mga miyembro ng House Committee on Justice. At kaugnay ho niyan mga kabombo, mga Kastar Nation, ating kunin ang mga latest information mula ho dyan sa Kamara de Representantes sa nagpapatuloy na pagdinig dahil yung impeachment laban nga kay Vice President Sara ay tuloy nga kahit hindi naman ito nagpakita at yung iba pang mga hakbang ng Committee on Justice ating alamin. May balita si Bombo Soberano.
Tiniyak ni House Justice Panel Chairman Representative Jervy Luistro na hindi napapabayaan ng Kamara ang iba pang mahalagang tungkulin sa kabila ng proseso ng impeachment laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Ayon kay Luistro, patuloy na tinutugunan ng Kamara ang suliraning kinakaharap ng bansa tulad ng pagtaas ng presyo ng langis at mga bilihin. Kabilang sa mga hakbang ang panukalang suspension ng excise tax sa langis, pati na rin ang mga batas para sa inflation, food security at mas maayos na serbisyong pampubliko. Binanggit din niya na ang mga naipasa at isinusulong na panukala gaya ng pag-alis ng travel tax, pagpapalawak ng digital payments sa gobyerno at mga reforma sa edukasyon. Pakinggan natin si Representative Jervy Luistro.
At inaasahang makatutulong sa ating mga kababayan. We also continue to work on measures that address inflation, food security, and social services. Also, just this March 2026, the House has acted on measures that directly affect the daily lives of Filipinos, passing a bill abolishing the travel tax, advancing legislation to institutionalize digital payments in government transactions, and pushing reforms to make public services more accessible and efficient.
Sa gitna nito, nilinaw din ni Luis Ro na ang impeachment laban kay VP Sara ay hindi isang criminal trial, kundi isang prosesong konstitusyonal upang alamin kung may sapat na batayan o probable cause laban sa opisyal. Ayon kay Luis Ro, mahalagang timbangin ang ebidensya at konsensya sa pagdedesisyon. Iginiit din niya na nagpapatuloy ang pagdinig kahit wala ang Vice President at pananagutan ng komite na gampanan ang tungkulin nito ng may katapatan, patas at alinsunod sa saligang batas. Pakinggan natin muli si Representative Jervil Luistro.
Galang sa saligang batas. Dito sa komite, susundan natin ang saligang batas. Hindi natin tatalikuran ang ating tungkulin. Iyan ang inaasahan ng taong bayan. Hindi pag-iwas, kundi pagharap. Hindi katahimikan, kundi pananagutan. Sapagkat ang panunumpa ay hindi lamang binibigkas sa simula. Ito ay pinatutunayan sa bawat pagkakataon na tayo ay sinusubok. So regardless of the participation of the Vice President, and even in her absence, this committee will proceed. We will do our duty with resolve, without hesitation, and without delay. The Constitution entrusts the House with the exclusive power to initiate impeachment cases. And this committee stands at the forefront of that responsibility.
Samantala, binigyan din ni Akbayan Party List Representative Sel Diokno ang kahalagahan at proseso ng impeachment sa isinasagawang pagdinig ng Kamara. Ayon kay Diokno, ang Kamara ang may kapangyarihang magsampa ng impeachment case, habang ang Senado naman ang lilitis at magpapasya. Layunin ng kasalukuyang pagdinig na alamin kung may sapat na batayan upang ituloy ang kaso laban sa Vice President. Binanggit din ni Diokno, hindi niya napatunayang sapat ang forma at nilalaman ang mga reklamong inihain, kaya kinakailangan magsagawa ng pagdinig upang suriin ang ebidensya at mga testigo. Iginiit din niya na ang kahalagahan ng pagprotekta ng mga testigo at masusing verifikasyon ng mga ebidensya upang mailabas ang katotohanan. Matapos ang pagdinig sa komite, boboto ang buong Kamara kung dapat bang isulong ang paglilitis sa Senado. Naglatag din ng mga panuntunan ang komite upang matiyak ang maayos, patas at episyenteng proseso, kabilang ang limitadong oras ng pagsasalita at maayos na pagkilala sa mga miyembro. Binigyan din ni Representative Diokno na ang impeachment ay isang seryosong prosesong konstitusyonal na nangangailangan ng disiplina, paggalang sa batas at pagtutok sa tungkulin, hindi sa personalidad. Mula sa Kamara, Bombo Anali Montaño Soberano nag-uulat. And this is Bombo Radio Philippines, the #1 and most trusted source of news and information. Sa radio, Bombo!
9 na minuto na makalipas ang 12:00 ng tanghali. Standby ang ating coverage team dyan pa rin sa Kamara de Representantes maya-maya sapagkat babalikan natin yung kanilang sitwasyon dyan sa pag-usad pa rin itong pagdinig ukol sa impeachment case ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Samantala, kaugnay niyan, tiniyak ni Akbayan Representative Sel Diokno na dadaan sa butas ng karayom ang impeachment complaint laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Sa kanyang naging mensahe sa pagbubukas ng hearing proper para naman sa dalawang impeachment complaint laban kay Vice President Duterte, sinabi ni Diokno na ang impeachment proceedings ang magiging daan upang makilatis ng husto kung may sapat na basihan ang mga reklamo laban sa pangalawang pangulo ng ating bansa. Sinisiguro din ng mambabatas na ibabatay lamang sa itinatakda ng House Rules ng kanilang mga patakaran dyan ang gagawin ng komite sa kabuuan ng naturang pagdinig. Ayon pa kay Representative Jokno, ito ang pagkakataon ng pangalawang Pangulo para questionin at kumprontahin ang lahat ng aligasyon laban sa kanya, kaya't mahalagang magpakita rin doon ang pangalawang Pangulo kung kanyang nanaisin. Nanindigan din mga kabombo ang mambabatas na ang tanging paraan para lumabas ang katotohanan ukol sa mga aligasyon laban sa Vice Presidente ay ang isinasagawang hearing ng kanilang komite. Ganon din mga kabombo, dahilan para mas maging maingat ang pagpresenta at pagkilatis doon sa mga ebidensya na inilalahad sa naturang lupon. Ito rin ang dahilan niya kung kaya't inihain niya ang motion para naman ilipat ang kustodiya ni Ramil Madriaga, ang nagpapakilalang dating bagman ng pangalawang Pangulo na inaasahan sana na magpipresenta bilang isa sa mga testigo sa kaso o sa reklamo laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Narito ang naging bahagi ng pahayag ni Representative Chiel Jokno.
Impeachment case na ito ay dadaan sa butas ng karayom. This is the only way for the truth to come out. Pagkatapos ng committee, boboto po ang buong Kamara at magpapasya kung dapat ilitis ang kaso sa Senado. At sa bawat hakbang, nakatutok ang buong bansa para bantayan ang proseso. Duty is clear, Madam Chair. This committee must secure and verify every piece of evidence, and we must protect every witness so they may give their testimony under oath. Ito ay naaayon mismo sa Section 7 at 8 ng Rules of Impeachment. Itong dahilan kung bakit po tayo naghain ng motion para makuha ang kopya ng SALN ng Vice Presidente at para bigyan ng proteksyon ang testigo na si Mr. Ramil Madriaga.
Bagian mga kabombo ng naging pahayag nitong si Representative Chiel Jokno sa pagsisimula ng pagdinig ng impeachment case laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte. At mga kabombo, mga ka-Star Nation, sa tuloy-tuloy nating pagtutok pa rin sa mga kaganapan dyan, nanindigan ito si House Justice Committee Vice Chairperson at Baguio City Representative Mauricio Dumogan na kailangan ng presensya nitong si Vice President Sara Duterte sa pagdinig ng naturang komite sa dalawang impeachment complaints laban sa pangalawang Pangulo. Iginigiit ng mambabatas na sa oras na magpresenta ang respondent ng kanilang ebidensya at argumento, kailangan anya na mayroong presensya ng pangalawang Pangulo upang magbigay ng kanyang sariling komento hinggil naman sa mga inaakusa. Maaari anya na hindi siya dumalo kung ang complainants ang magpresenta ng kanilang dokumento dahil kanya-kanya ang kanilang pagsagot sa anumang katanungan mula sa mga miyembro ng kanilang komite. Tanong ng Baguio lawmaker, sino ang sasagot ng mga clarificatory question kung hindi naman sisipot ang pangalawang Pangulo? Bagamat hindi ito isang criminal proceedings, dapat umano na bigyan ang kampo ni Vice President Sara Duterte ng pagkakataon pa rin na makasagot kahit sa tanging ang mga legal representatives man lang ang dumalo sa pagdinig. Nanindigan si Rodriguez na hindi lamang dapat na limitado sa pagbibigay ng legal counsel ang siyang karapatan para naman sa mga gagabay sa isang inaakusahan kagaya ni Vice President Sara Duterte para magkaroon ho ng pagpapasya na payagan siya na makapagsalita rin naman doon sa harap ng komite. Halimbawa rin ng Cagayan de Oro representative ang karapatan nitong si Vice President Sara laban sa self-incrimination kung saan maaaring makasama pa ito sa pangalawang Pangulo ang anumang kanyang sasabihin, kaya dapat ang pagbibigay ng kanyang mga abogado ng pagkakataon na makapagsalita ay napaka-importante para naman sa kanya. Narito ang naging bahagi ng pahayag ni Representative Rufus Rodriguez.
If I may confirm, the Honorable Rodriguez, you would like the committee to acknowledge the right of the counsel even in the absence of the respondent.
That's correct. Based on jurisprudence, Madam Chair, that although this is not a criminal proceeding, it is akin to a criminal case because we are trying to remove and there is also perpetual disqualification. And so, in other words, the Vice President can send her counsels here to appear for her. In fact, the right to self-incrimination is there. And a person who is now being investigated has the right to already not take the stand, or at the time she wants to appear, to be able to invoke it when she is asked an incriminatory question. So that is the position of this counsel.
Lagi ang mga pahayag ni Representative Rufus Rodriguez kaugnay naman doon sa kanyang mga mungkahi na pinag-uusapan dyan sa House Committee on Justice na kasabay ng pagpapatuloy nitong impeachment proceedings sa kaso ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Samantala, kumustahin natin ang iba pang mga sitwasyon dyan ho sa Kamara de Representantes kung may mga humabol pa ng mga miyembro ng kapulungan para dumalo dito sa impeachment hearing knowing na hindi papayagan yun hong mga non-members ng House Committee on Justice na makapag-participate o kaya naman ay makapag-bat-in dun sa mga panahon ng pagtatanong dyan sa naturang lupon. Alamin natin mga update mula kay Bombo Isa Cotoner.
Bombo, Dennis, yun nga nagpapatuloy ngayon dito sa House of Representatives yung pagdinig ng House Committee on Justice hinggil nga doon sa impeachment case laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Kanina, Bombo, Dennis, ay may nilinaw si House Committee on Justice Chairperson Jervil Luistro na ang kasalukuyang pagdinig ng komite ay isang clarificatory hearing lamang at hindi pa ang isang ganap na paglilitis. Ayon kay Luistro, maihintulad sa isang preliminary investigation kung saan layunin lamang na alamin kung mayroon probable cause o sapat na batayan ang mga reklamo.
Okay,
Binigyan
Bombo Isa.
din niya na hindi pa tinutukoy na sa yugtong
Yes, Bombo Isa.
Bombo.
Bigyan daan muna natin yung nagpapatuloy dyan na pagdinig sapagkat may mga direktiba na mula sa chairperson ng naturang komite dyan sa House Committee on Justice. Mamaya babalikan kita, Bombo Isa, at ituloy natin yung pagtutok doon sa hearing mismo, Bombo Isa, mga kabombo at mga ka-Star Nation.
2016 to 2022. So ordered. The committee is likewise in receipt of the manifestation from the Honorable Congresswoman Laila De Lima. May we hear from the Honorable De Lima?
Thank you, Madam Chair. This representation confirms that as an ex-officio member of the Committee on Justice and as an endorser of the Sabalia et al. Complaint against Vice President Sara Duterte, I filed yesterday, March 24, with the Committee on Justice and with a copy furnished to respondent by the committee secretary, a request for the issuance of subpoena duces tecum and ad testificandum for the following 5 individuals, 5 resource persons and or witnesses. 1, Attorney Gloria A. Camora of the Intelligence and Confidential Funds Audit Office of the Commission on Audit to produce, identify, and authenticate official COA audit records, including liquidation reports, disbursement vouchers, certifications, and related submissions of the Office of the Vice President and the Department of Education pertaining to the disposition of the confidential funds for the years 2022 and 2023. In my letter, Madam Chair, there's a long list actually of those copies of those documents, the original copies of which we are seeking to be produced via subpoena from Attorney Gloria Camora of the Intelligence and Confidential Funds Audit Office of the Commission on Audit. I so move, Madam Chair, to issue subpoena duces tecum and ad testificandum to the named individual or named employee or official of the Commission on Audit.
There is a motion for the issuance of subpoena to Attorney Gloria A. Camora. You mentioned the Honorable De Lima, officials from COA. Other than
Attorney Gloria Camora.
Other than Attorney Camora, are there any other officials you would
Just
like to be
Attorney Gloria
subpoenaed?
Camora for the moment. Attorney Gloria Camora of the Intelligence and Confidential Funds Audit Office of the Commission on Audit, because she's the custodian of these COA records and documents, including liquidation reports, disbursement vouchers, certifications, and related submissions of the Office of the Vice President and DepEd pertaining to confidential funds.
There is a motion for issuance of subpoena duces tecum and ad testificandum to Attorney Gloria A. Camora with respect as well to the documents pertaining to the confidential funds during the alleged period.
Yes, Madam Chair, as I said, it's a long list actually. There are the checks, the disbursement vouchers as listed, proof of submissions, liquidation reports, certifications, accomplishment reports, certifications of various dates, etc. It's a long list as listed in the letter of this representation, the letter request of this representation.
We are directing the committee secretary to provide copy of the manifestation or the request to the justice members. And the same is also adopted in support of the motion raised by the Honorable De Lima.
Madam Chair, discussion. I'd like to have a clarification.
Just for the record, the motion of the Honorable De Lima has been seconded by the Honorable
Yes,
Zamora.
now
Honorable
discussion.
Rodriguez.
I would like to clarify. Clarification from the proponent, from the movant. Is this the confidential funds of 2022 and then 2023 of the Office of the Vice President and not the Office of the Secretary of the Department of Education? May we know? May we clarify?
There are documents pertaining to the confidential funds of the Office of the Vice President, and there are also documents pertaining to the confidential funds for the Office of the DepEd, Department of Education.
Madam
Because
Chair.
those are grounds number 1 and 2 of the affidavit, of the complaint, the Sabalia et al. Complaint.
Madam Chair, when our distinguished Congresswoman De Lima, she mentioned of 22 and 23 years.
22
In your
to
first
23.
motion, when you stated the motion, 22, 23. So that's why I'm getting clarification. Are you now including the DepEd confidential funds?
There are
Because your
also
motion is 22 and 23.
22, 2023.
Because the COA has not been able to have a final notice of disallowance on the DepEd confidential funds.
Again, may I?
Yeah,
Yes.
because when I heard you, it was 2022, 2023. That is pertaining to the Office of the Vice President. But then now you're saying, in my clarification, that you are also moving for her to be able to give documents regarding the confidential funds of the Office of the Department of Education where she was secretary. Let us be clarified on that. Are
Yes,
you
yes,
also
Madam
including?
Chair. With respect to the DepEd, these are also, again, the list is here. With respect to DepEd, there will be accomplishment report dated September 30, 2023, for the period July 12 to September 30, 2023. So there's a covered period, actually, 2022, 2023, and also it's 2023, and the certification issued January 1, 2024. Certification dated December 30, 2023. So covering also the Department of Education.
I will therefore object, Madam Chair, because it is this humble representation's position that under the Duterte versus House of Representatives ruling, only actions pertaining to the impeachable office of the impeachable official can only be the subject matter here. Objection, Mr. Chair, Madam Chair.
The Honorable Rodriguez is consistent
May I
in his
respond to
position
that
since our
objection?
determination of substance. The Honorable
Yes.
De Lima.
Well, that matter was settled already during the proceedings for the determination in substance and also for the proceedings for the determination of whether there are sufficient grounds for impeachment. At any rate, the Honorable Rufus Rodriguez made mention about the ruling of the Supreme Court in the Sara Duterte versus House of Representatives. And it says there, during the incumbency. Yes, it says there, during the incumbency of the impeachable official. Here, the Vice President. Now, it doesn't say in relation only to her office as Vice President. Because, you know, she was occupying the DepEd Secretary portfolio in her concurrent capacity as Vice President. Now, you don't distinguish the actions made, especially the anomalous actions, the impeachable offenses made because it's with the department, pertains to the Department of Education. Just to explain it further, Madam Chair, what if the Vice President kills someone? It doesn't say it's in relation to or as Vice President and as DepEd Secretary, but that crime happens during her incumbency as Vice President. She may have two hands, as OVP, as VP, and as DepEd, but she has only one brain. She has one persona. She is the same person. Again, the Supreme Court says, during the incumbency of the impeachable official, but not in relation to. There's a big difference between that, the use of those phrases, during her incumbency and also in relation to her functions or duties as Vice President. So that is my counter-argument
With all due
to the
respect to
position
the
made.
Honorable Dilima and the Honorable Rodriguez, I believe that this issue has been deliberated upon
Correct.
amply during our determination of sufficiency in substance and even in the sufficiency in ground. So, with the indulgence of all the members, let us proceed to vote on the motion for issuance of subpoena duces tecum and subpoena ad testificandum with respect to Attorney Gloria A. Camora and all the documents pertaining to the confidential fund in 2022 and 2023, both of the Department of Education and the Office of the Vice President. The same has been seconded. The motion was also objected to. Let us now proceed to vote. Members, please be ready to vote. Those who are in favor of the motion, please raise your right hand.
Ayan, nagkakaroon po ng bilangan ng boto para sa motion for the issuance ng subpoena dosis tecum ad testificandum.
You may put down your hands. Those who are not in favor of the motion, please raise your right hand. You may put down your hand, Honorable Rodriguez. Those who abstain, please raise your right hand. That concludes the voting. Committee Secretariat, result please.
Binilang na ho yung boto, mga kabombo, kung ilan yung pabor na mag-issue ng subpoena para dun sa opisyal ng Commission on Audit upang ilabas yung mga dokumento. Ayan, nabilang na ho.
With 29 votes in the affirmative, 1 vote in the negative, and 0 abstention, the motion is granted. The committee is directed to issue the necessary subpoena duces tecum and subpoena ad testificandum to Attorney Gloria A. Camora, and with respect as well to the production of pertinent documents on confidential fund of both the DepEd and the Office of the Vice President in 2022 and 2023. So ruled. Honorable
Ayan, mga
Dilima.
kabombo, yung naging botohan tungkol ho ito sa pag-issue ng subpoena laban dito sa isang o para sa isang individual na magbibigay linaw sa usapin, no? Particular ito si Attorney Gloria Camora. Siya ho ay nasa Commission on Audit, mga kabombo, at pinai-issuehan ng subpoena dosis tecum ad testificandum para mailabas niya yung mga dokumento at makapagbigay din siya ng kanyang salaysay, mga kabombo. So yan yung isa sa mga motion. Pakinggan pa natin ang nagpapatuloy na pagdinig.
It's very clearly alleged in the complaint of the Sabalia et al.
There is a motion raised by the Honorable Dilima to issue subpoena duces tecum and subpoena ad testificandum to Ramil Lagunoy Madriaga, and for the production of affidavit dated November 29, 2025, as well as any other evidence in his possession. The same has been seconded by Vice Chair Dumogan. Is there any objection?
Madam Chair, objection because again, there is a statement here in the third column that it's also his testimony on the DepEd's confidential funds where we have no jurisdiction. Objection, Madam Chair.
Considering that the motion has been objected to, we shall now proceed to vote. Committee on Justice members, please be ready to vote. This is on the motion for the issuance of subpoena duces tecum and subpoena ad testificandum to Ramil Madriaga, as well as for the production of his affidavit and any other evidence in his possession. Those who are in favor of the motion, please raise your right hand.
Tumaas na ho ng kamay yung mga pabor na ipatawag si Ramil Madriaga, ang nagpapakilalang dating tauhan o nagpakilalang dating bagman.
You may put down your hands.
Vice Presidente.
Those who are not in favor of the motion, please raise your right hand.
Okay.
Those who abstain, please raise your right hand.
Consistent si Representative
That
Rufus
concludes the
Rodriguez
voting.
sa
Committee
kanyang
Secretariat, result please.
Kagaya kanina mga kabombo ay meron pa ring bilang ng boto na nakuha na 29 at 1 ang tumutol sa katauhan ni Representative Rufus Rodriguez at wala namang nag-abstain. Ito kukumpirmahin na ng Chair.
One vote in the negative and 0 abstention. The motion is hereby granted. The Committee on Justice is directed to issue the necessary subpoena duces tecum and subpoena ad testificandum to Ramil Madriaga and for the production of his affidavit dated November 29, 2025 and any other evidence in his possession. So ruled.
So kunin natin ang mga karagdagan pang update mula ho dyan. Itong bank records din kasi kabilang ho dun sa pinapasabina. Kuha tayo ng update mula kay Bombo Isa Cotoner. Bombo Isa?
Yes, Bombo. Dennis, nagpapatuloy nga yung committee hearing dito sa House of Representatives kung saan kanina lamang napakinggan natin yung naging 4 na motion at ito naman ay agad pinagdesisyon na nitong committee nga. Particular, una muna dito, no, Bombo Dennis, yung para sa request ng subpoena para dito sa NBI, no, o yung National Bureau of Investigation. Ipinasa ng House Committee on Justice ang pag-issue ng subpoena sa National Bureau of Investigation upang makuha ang mga record ng investigasyon kaugnayan sa umano'y banta ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Ang investigasyon ay may kinalaman doon sa mga pahayag umano laban kina Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr., First Lady Liza Marcos at dating House Speaker Martin Romualdez. Layunin ng komite na makuha ang mga dokumento at ebidensya mula sa National Bureau of Investigation upang makatulong sa kanilang pagdinig na masuri ang aligasyon. Kaugnay niyan, ito rin ay mayroon din ipinasa na motion itong komite sa botong 34 na affirmative, 1 na negative at 0 abstain. Ipinasa rin ng komite na isabina ang Office of the Ombudsman upang kunin ang mga kopya ng Statement of Assets, Liabilities and Net Worth ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Kabilang sa hihingi ng kanyang SALN mula taong 2007 hanggang 2013, 2016 hanggang 2022 at 2022 hanggang 2025. Nagpa siya ang komite sa gitna ng pagdinig kaugnay ng mga impeachment complaint laban nga yan sa Vice Presidente. Kanina rin, Bombo Dennis, ay nais din ipasabina pagdating dito kay Attorney Gloria Camora ng Commission on Audit at ito ay ipinasa rin ng komite sa botong 29 na affirmative, 1 na negative at 0 abstain. Kaya naman ay ilalabas na nila yung subpoena para doon sa mga dokumento at pag-appear nga nito ni Attorney Gloria Camora and others. Kasi actually, Bombo Dennis, 5 itong ipapatawag no, with regards doon sa mga dokumento na may kinalaman doon sa confidential funds nga ng Department of Education. At ang pinakahuli, Bombo Dennis nga na pinag-uusapan dito no, na nag-motion din si Representative Leila de Lima at agaran din naman tong pinagbotohan at ipinasa dito nga kay Mil Madriaga. So sa botong 29 affirmative, 1 negative at 0 abstain ay ipapatawag itong si Ramil Madriaga kung saan siya nga daw umano ang bagman nito ni Vice President Sara Duterte. So ito yung mga latest na nangyaring motion dito at inaantabayanan pa natin, Bombo Dennis, yung mga magiging action pa dito sa House of Representatives kasi hanggang ngayon ay nagpapatuloy yung mga motion para nga doon sa mga ipapatawag no, na pwedeng tumistigo o umarap dito no, sa House Committee on Justice, Bombo Dennis.
Okay, so mula dun sa bilang ng mga dumadalo kanina, nadagdagan pa ba ito, Bombo Isa? At kumusta yung presensya ng mga observer din dyan sa mismong venue ng pagdinig? Knowing na nakabakasyon ngayon, naka-break ngayon ng Kongreso, Bombo Isa.
Oo nga, kanina nga Bombo Dennis, katulad nga nung nabanggit ko kanina, nagsimula nga yung bilang nung mga mambabatas dito ay nasa 35 kasi nga 34 ang affirmative. Tapos ay isa ang negative. So nakikita natin dun sa mga susunod na motion ay bumababa yung bilang pero yung bilang rin naman dito sa loob ng Committee Justice ay sapat pa naman para doon nga sa mga nagpapatuloy na motion. So yan yung ating napapansin dito no at patuloy pa rin naman yung nangyayaring committee hearing para dito sa House Justice Panel, Bombo Dennis.
So yung iba siguro baka naka-lunch break nakikita mo ba diyan Bombo Isa kung nagsiserve sila ng pagkain habang ongoing itong hearing o may separate venue para doon sa mga mambabatas at iba pang dumadalo dyan para pansamantalang mag-take ng kanilang lunch habang ongoing itong hearing?
Yes, Bombo Dennis, so nakikita naman natin yan na may nagsiserve ng mga pagkain dito nga sa ating mga kongresista. Actually, kanina may mga napapansin din tayong lumalabas nga dito sa may People's Center. Pero kasi yung iilan din sa kanila, Bombo Dennis, ay bumabalik din naman no, dito sa House Committee on Justice hearing nga rin talaga. Baka mamaya ay meron muna silang pupuntahan pero inaasahan naman na babalik sila dito no, sa nagpapatuloy na pagdinig, Bombo Dennis.
Sige. With that, maraming salamat, Bombo Isa, from your end.
Yan muna, latest update mula dito sa House of Representatives. Ito si Bombo Isa Cotoner and this is Bombo Radio Philippines, the #1 and most trusted source of news and information. Basta Radio Bombo.
Sa pagpapatuloy ng ating mga balita sa Bombo Network News, tinabla ni Bicol Saro Party List Representative Terry Ridon ang naging comment ng kampo nitong si Vice President Sara Duterte. Pero bago ho yan, mga kabombo, proceed muna tayo dun sa pagdinig dyan sa Kamara. May mga panibagong development ating alamin.
PSA verification made from PSA Civil Registry System database on the Certificate of Live Birth, Marriage, and Death on several names found in the submissions of the OVP and DepEd, particularly the following: certification dated December 8, 2024 and certification dated December 11, 2024. Do I hear a second?
Second.
The same has been seconded. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is granted. The committee is directed to issue the necessary subpoena to the representative of the PSA as well as for the production of the documents mentioned therein.
Madam Chair, just a manifestation.
The Honorable Marcoleta is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I recall during the previous hearings, maybe 2 or 3 past hearings ago, I raised the issue of procedural due process when I said that ginanap ng Kongreso ang trabaho na di dapat nila ginagawa dahil ito ay trabaho ng COA. And I was referring to the past hearings made by the Quadcom or if I'm not mistaken, the Committee on Good Governance. And the chair remarked that wala pong kinalaman ang mga past hearings ngayong hearing ng impeachment ni BP Sara. Pero ngayon po ay tila ginagamit natin at humihingi tayo ng dokumento mula sa mga hearings na yon. So ako po ay nagugulumihanan. Kala ko po ba walang kinalaman ang mga past hearings ng Quadcom o ng Committee on Good Government, pero tayo po ay nagbabalik tanaw at kukuha ng mga dokumento mula sa archives ng hearing na yon. May I be clarified, Madam Chair?
This impeachment proceeding pertains to the fitness to hold public office of our Vice President Sara Zimmerman C. Duterte. That is the reason why manifestations pertaining to the past inquiry of Quadcom and even of the Committee on Good Government was discouraged by the chairperson. Nevertheless, all the manifestations of the Honorable Marcoleta are duly noted by the Committee on Justice. Now we proceed. We have discussed already all the pending matters before the committee, and the chair wishes to reiterate the previously announced schedules for our subsequent hearings. That includes April 14. After this announcement, April 14, April 22, and April 29.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable Tino first, and then the Honorable D.S. Conghon.
Madam Chair, may I make an additional motion for the issuance of a subpoena?
Like to make another motion for the
Yes.
issuance of subpoena.
I move that a subpoena be issued to Attorney Michael Wesley Poa in his capacity as the former Chief of Staff of the Vice President and DepEd Secretary from 2022 to 2023. In such capacity, he has very material and relevant information on how the confidential funds in the DepEd were used, and in particular, he had a direct role in the preparation of the accomplishment reports relating to the use of the DepEd's confidential funds, some of which these accomplishment reports have been the subject of the request for subpoena that this committee has approved.
May
So
we
I
hear
so
from
move, Madam
our
Chair.
endorser? Would you like to comment to the motion of the Honorable Tino? He wishes for the issuance of subpoena ad testificandum to Attorney Michael Poa, considering that during that time, he was assuming the position of
Chief of Staff of the DepEd Secretary.
COS
Yes.
of DepEd.
Undersecretary, with the rank of Undersecretary.
Honorable De Lima?
My motion was pertained only to the custodian of those COA audit records, including liquidation reports, disbursement vouchers, certifications, and related submissions from the custodian, the official custodian of the Intelligence and Confidential Funds Audit Office of the Commission on Audit. I won't have any strong objection to that request, since it's related to this item.
All right,
The
so
subject matter of the first motion that I put forth, which was approved by the body.
so the
Thank you.
chair will now act on the motion. The
Madam
committee
Chair.
will now act on the motion. Is that an objection to the motion of the
Definitely.
Honorable Tino?
I object. Are there documents that the Chief of Staff, Attorney Poa, has signed that he would be a witness to identify? May I ask the proponent?
Before we entertain the objection of the Honorable Rodriguez, let me just formalize that there is a motion raised by the Honorable Tino to issue a subpoena ad testificandum to Attorney Michael Poa, considering that he was the Chief of Staff of the Office of the Department of Education during the alleged period of 2022 and 2023. Do I hear a second?
Second.
The same has been seconded by the Honorable D.S. Conghon. Now let's hear the objection of the Honorable Rodriguez.
Madam Chair, I could not find nexus borne by evidence or ultimate facts that would now make the Chief of Staff and lawyer of the Vice President to be subpoenaed. In fact, he has entered this appearance as counsel. So I would like to know whether there are documents which he certified or he signed that would make him be able to be invited to be given subpoena to appear in this committee. Otherwise, then we can, just because they are in the office of the Vice President, we'll be giving subpoena to everybody there in the Vice President's office. So I object, and I would like to know about that. Are there documents that would show that he has been part of these confidential funds?
Yes, Madam Chair, in the third complaint endorsed by the Honorable De Lima, there is a section extensively discussing the role that then USEC POA played in preparing the accomplishment reports pertaining to the use of the confidential funds, where and the complaint cites the transcripts of the hearings of the Committee on Good Governance on this matter, where USEC POA admits that one, he was ordered by the Vice President to submit these accomplishment reports, and also cited in the complaint that the several Army units denied what was claimed in these accomplishment reports.
So we've heard the justification of the Honorable Tino. We've heard as well the justification and the objection of the Honorable Rodriguez. We are a collegial body, so we shall now proceed to vote on the motion
Before
of the
the
Honorable
voting,
Tino.
Madam Chair, I would like the proponent to show to us documents, certifications that had led to the release of these confidential funds. Because we are now already on the hearing, precisely. Are there any? Because if there's none, there is no reason to call him and subpoena a lawyer.
Madam
The
Chair,
Honorable
as I
Tino.
said, I cite the complaint itself, the third complaint.
Allegations naman, wala nga dokumentado.
Specifically, starting from
The process of utilization of the alleged confidential funds is not confined to the documents. There could be actions that contributed to the utilization of confidential fund, which might be covered by the testimony of the possible witnesses.
Okay. Well, starting from paragraph 269 of the third complaint, page 90, there is a reference to former DepEd spokesperson. He was spokesperson as well as Chief of Staff, Michael Poa, testifying that he received envelopes directly from Vice President Sara herself. So this has to do with the allegation on bribery. And further, and there are other sections as well pertaining to the use of the confidential funds, Madam Chair. If Congressman Rodriguez would want, we can provide, given enough time, Madam Chair.
Oh, Madam Chair, we are now voting, so we should be able to get it. If there is. The fact that he's Chief of Staff and Counsel will not, implicate him to be able to have that if there is no document. So I would object to that, Madam Chair.
With the indulgence of these two gentlemen, as to whether or not there's relevance in the presentation of Attorney Michael Coa, will be a question that rests on the judgment of the justice members. We shall now proceed to vote. Those who are in favor of the motion for issuance of subpoena ad testificandum to Attorney Michael Poa, please raise your right hand.
Ayan, nagkakaroon mga kabombo ng bilangan ukol sa motion na ipatawag itong si Attorney Michael Poa, ang dating Chief of Staff ni Vice President Sara Duterte nung ito'y kalihim pa ng Department of Education. Ang rango niya ay Undersecretary.
You may put down your hands. Those who are not in favor of the motion. Thank you, Honorable Rodriguez. 2, 3. Were you able to count? Those who abstain, please raise your right hand. That concludes the voting. We shall announce the result.
So nadagdagan mga kabombo yung mga kontra doon sa motion. Kanina ay isa lamang si Representative Rufus
With
Rodriguez.
34 votes in the affirmative, 3 votes in the negative, and 0 abstention. The motion is granted. The committee is directed to issue the necessary subpoena ad testificandum to Attorney Michael Poa. So ruled.
Madam Chair,
The Honorable Jokno.
there's still one more pending incident, I believe, that pertains to the petition that this representation filed with the House, which was referred last Wednesday to the committee. This is a petition under Section 8 of the Rules on Impeachment, which provides that the House may, upon proper petition, provide adequate protection to a complainant or witness if it is shown that the personal safety of the witness is in jeopardy because of participating in the impeachment proceeding. I will no longer reiterate what is contained in my petition, Madam Chair, but if I may just add a few points that I believe are important for the consideration of the committee. Una-una po, para sa kaalaman ng taong bayan, hiniling natin ang proteksyon para kay Ramil Madriaga para makapunta siya rito at magbigay ng kanyang testimonya under oath sa harap ng committee ito. Standard po ito sa sino mang saksi, pero mas mahalaga ito dahil may mga direktang ulat na galing mismo kay Ginoong Madriaga na may panganib sa kanyang buhay. In his own sinumpaang salaysay, sinabi niya, and I quote, "Araw-araw na rin nagsasabi sa akin, delikado na talaga ang buhay mo, seryoso. Ingat Ram, balita ko mataas-taas ang reward money sa iyo, secure mo ang family mo, at iba pa. Sa loob ko ay nakakaramdam ako ng sobrang takot. Ang takot na yon ay hindi lang sa sarili ko, kundi pati sa aking pamilya. Napaparanoid na rin po ako kasi posible rin itong mangyari na lasunin ako. Halos hindi na ako mapakali, kuminsan at hindi ko maiwasan magduda na rin sa mga fellow PDLs at kahit po mismo sa mga jail officers dahil sa pagsiwalat ko ng issue kay VP Sara Duterte. Madam Chair, these threats have already escalated. According to his affidavit, on March 3, 2026, a detainee with a pending homicide case attempted to forcibly drag Mr. Madriaga into a confined bodega area within the jail. According to Mr. Madriaga, and I quote, "Ayon sa mga naririnig ko sa loob ng kulungan, ang bodegang ito ay sinasabing pinagawa ni dating Congressman Arnie Teves. Isa sa mga impormasyon na nakuha ko ay si Kong Arnie Teves ang gusto magpatumba sa akin," end quotation. Kinumpirma naman po ni DILG Secretary John Vic Remulla na binisita ni Vice Presidente si dating Congressman Teves sa kulungan noong October 19, 2025. Base ito sa ulat ng Inquirer na mismo ang Vice President ang nag-attach sa kanyang perjury complaint laban kay Ginoong Madriaga. Ito ay matatagpuan mismo sa Annex V sa complaint affidavit na minarkahang Annex 5 sa Consolidated Verified Answer ad cautelam ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Just to be clear, this is not intended to accuse anyone. I'm merely raising a concern in our quest to find the truth. If we allow a witness to be intimidated, hurt, or God forbid, killed, then we fail in our constitutional mandate. In terms of what kind of adequate protection I believe would be necessary, I believe that would entail 3 things, Madam Chair. Number 1, that the security for the witness be beefed up, particularly by the National Bureau of Investigation. Second, that his attendance when when he is required to appear here, be done in a secure manner, that there is sufficient security for his transport here, and also while he is here to testify, that he be put in a secure place. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Would you like to raise the necessary motion with respect to the protective custody of witness Ramil Madriaga?
Yes, Madam Chair. In line with Section 8 of the Rules of the House on Impeachment, I move that adequate protection be provided to Mr. Ramil Madriaga, consisting of three things. Number one, that the security where he is presently detained be beefed up, particularly by the National Bureau of Investigation. Number two, that his attendance, when required by the committee, be secured as well, so that his safety will be, so that his life will not be put in danger. And number three, that while he is testifying before this committee, that again, proper safeguards be put in place to ensure his that his life will not be endangered. I so move, Madam Chair.
So for
Second.
clarification, the Honorable Jokno, you are requesting, in line with protective custody, is to augment the current security with the NBI security.
Yes, Madam Chair.
You are also requested for sufficient security during his transport to the hearing of the Justice Committee.
And while
you
he
also
is
requested for a secured and safe place for his confinement
While he is testifying. Yes.
while he
Madam
is testifying before the Justice Committee. So we've heard the details of the protective custody which are being requested by the Honorable Jokno by way of his motion. There is a motion to formalize the same. There's a motion for protective custody of witness Ramil Madriaga, consisting of augmented security by the NBI, security during transport to hearings of the Justice Committee, and secured place of confinement during the hearing as well of this committee. Do I hear a second?
I second the
Madam Chair.
motion.
The same has
Chair.
been seconded.
Madam Chair.
Point of
May we know the pleasure of the Honorable Rodriguez? Are
Madam
you-
Chair, I would like to know whether, directly, whether the motion would transfer custody of Mr. Badriaga to the House of Representatives premises.
May we be clarified on that, the Honorable Jokno?
I did not include that in my motion, Madam Chair.
I understand that the motion is only to make sure that he is in a secured place of confinement.
Yes. Madam Chair, it has already been stated that the Honorable Director of NBI has already assigned personnel to watch 24 hours. Mr. Madriaga in Camp Bagondiwa. In fact, the jail superintendent has already stated that Madriaga has been transferred to a solitary cell so that there'll be no other people there that will endanger his life. And so, Madam Chair, with the presumption, Madam Chair, of regularity of functions and that our witnesses will be fully protected, there's no need for this motion. Secondly, Madam Chair, Ramil Madriaga is a polluted source. He is facing kidnapping with murder charges. In 2021, one member of the anti-kidnapping gang was killed. The PNP member of the anti-kidnapping gang. And then they were arrested in 2022, 2023. That's why he is in jail. And now we're going to give credence to a
Madam
polluted
Chair.
affidavit.
Point
Madam
of order.
Chair, no,
There
Madam
is a
Chair.
point of order,
Let us clarify,
Honorable
we're trying to
Rodriguez.
protect somebody who is a polluted source. In fact, in
Madam
the
Chair.
cases of the
Honorable
Supreme Court,
Rodriguez, there's a point of order.
thank you, Madam Chair.
Let's hear the point of
Premature.
order. The Honorable De
Madam
Lima is
Chair, I
recognized.
submit that it's clearly premature for anyone to raise an issue of credibility on the part of the intended witness. He's not yet testifying. He will testify, and therefore, issues of credibility can be raised in the questioning, in the clarificatory questioning. Mr. Madriaga can be asked about those things during the hearing, the proper stage of the hearing, but not at this point. So it's out of order. Any such statement relating to the issue of credibility, statements like a polluted source, that is not yet proper at this stage of the proceedings.
Would you
Madam
like to
Chair.
raise a motion concerning the manifestations of the Honorable Rodriguez with respect to the credibility of Ramil Madriaga?
I move that that particular part of the manifestation of the Honorable Congressman Rufus Rodriguez with respect to Mr. Madiaga being allegedly a polluted source and the related statements with respect to the issue of his credibility be stricken off the records.
Is there any second?
Second, Madam
The
Chair.
same has
Madam
been
Chair.
seconded. Is there any
I
objection?
will, yes, of course, Madam Chair, because we are
Two
trying to...
motions are pending now.
Yes.
One is the motion for the issuance of subpoena motion for protective custody of Ramil Madriaga, raised by the Honorable Chel Jokno, and second is the motion to strike off from the record the manifestation concerning the credibility of Ramil Madriaga. The same has been seconded as well.
This presentation is not out of order. We are discussing about giving a bundle of rights, 3. All of this to be able to give that advantage, that perceived, safety issues which are not. That's why me stating that to give this bundle of rights, to give this protection, to all of this custody and so forth in a safe place, should not be given to a polluted source. That is the point that I have. And therefore, it is not out of order. We are discussing, we are objecting to this particular motion. And that is the reason why, these are the reasons why I say that we have to know this person whom we are giving all of these extra advantages and extra attention and care which he does not deserve.
Madam Chair,
The Honorable De Lima.
Mr. Madiaga is listed as one of the witnesses for the complainants. And that's why I asked for the issuance of subpoena juris tecum. And it's very clear, under Section 8 of the Rules of Procedure in Impeachment Proceedings, protection to complainants or witnesses. The House may, upon proper petition, provide adequate protection to a complainant or witness if it is shown that the personal safety of the complainant or witness is in jeopardy because of participating in the impeachment proceedings. And we have heard the manifestation and the explanation of the Honorable Chel Jokno about the alleged threat to his safety. And therefore, it is very much in order that we tackle the issue of grant of protection.
Mga kabombo at mga ka-Star Nation, yan ho ang nagpapatuloy na pagdinig kaugnay sa impeachment case nito si Vice President Sara Duterte, at daron na tayo sa yugto na ipapatawag itong si Ramil Madriaga at pansamantalang ikukustudiya habang ongoing yung pagdinig. At isa ho ito sa masalimuot na bahagi sapagkat kinukontra nitong si Representative Rufus Rodriguez yung pagtanggap dito kay Madriaga dahil aniya ay polluted source ang naturang persona. At kung bibigyan pa siya ng perks kagaya ng dagdag na seguridad at pananatili dyan sa jurisdiction ng Kamara, ito ay kanyang tinututulan o ni Representative Rodriguez. Bagay na patuloy ho na dinidiscuss ng mga miyembro ng House Committee on Justice. Pansamantala tayong papatlang mga kabombo upang bigyang daan yung mga commercials and iba pang mga paalala mula sa ating mga himpilan ng Bombo Radio Philippines. Iba't ibang dako po ng ating bansa, and mamaya mag-resume ho tayo sa pamamagitan ng pagpapatuloy ng tie-up dito ho sa mga kaganapan mula dyan sa Kamara de Representantes. At yan ang mga update ang ating pagtutok dito sa Bombo Network News kaugnay ng impeachment hearing sa kaso ni Vice President Sara Duterte. This is Bombo Radio Philippines, the #1 and most trusted source of news and information. Basta Radio, Bombo!
For the most trusted source of news and information, visit our website at www.bomboradio.com. Follow us on Bombo Radio mobile app, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and X, formerly Twitter. Like, share, and stay connected. Anytime, anywhere.